Gentlemen, we have the privilege of having some experts in their own fields, their chosen careers. They are proud to be here, they're proud of what they do, and they want to come and share some information, their story, and a little bit about why now is the right time to invest in Southeast Queensland in terms of developments and projects. So I was going to do the introductions, but they've already been done. So we have Victor from City, Sky and Land. From Ocean, Sky and Land. We have Jing Song from City Sky Project Management. Patrick Pancur from Queensland Sotheby's International Realty. And then we also have George Shah from Balanz. We'll just get straight into it. So the first question is going to be to Victor. Victor has done some developments, both Melbourne and Southeast Queensland, and he sort of changed his focus up to the Southeast Queensland market. So, Victor, what made you make the decision to shift up to the Queensland market and start investing in property over here?
Yeah, actually, you think I'm a Melbourne-based developer. Actually, I'm still a new immigrant, and I would recognize myself as an author. I'm writing books, making comments on the real estate market. However, the situations in Melbourne, development situations change. So I swapped business to Queensland. I think that just simply follow the new trends. I think the number one, the trend for the increased population. I know the Chinese saying side, where you have more people, where you have a better business, right? So I got the recent report mentioned around 15,000 interstate migrant people moved from other states to the Queensland. Compared with Melbourne is the final winner. They got 70 people move in. However, we compared with population scale, supply and demand factors. I think 15,000 people rush into a small town have a big impact on than the 70,000 people move to the big city. So I can imagine the demand for living in Queensland is quite high, and the trend will be continue. Second thing I love the most, the reason I come here, is that the new trend for the job creations. A lot of infrastructure happen in the southern part of Brisbane, connecting the boundary of a Gold Coast area. For example, the new Westfield shopping mall is under construction in the Coomera. And also, they're creating around 8,000 stable jobs there. And the new medical harbor is on the way in the Helensville, and it also will bring around 500 high-income earners to come there. So I think the stable jobs are the key factors, make people stay and enjoy the lifestyle here in the Queensland. And no matter they are renting a unit, they are buying a house over there, all those actions make the market very strong in sales and in the leasing market. And third thing I love the most, I think, is the shortage of land supply here, especially the water from land, right? So we can take Sydney for example. When we looked back to Sydney in the 2009, and that period of time is the timeline for the Sydney median price step into the new circle of increase. And even for the last 2 years, some high-rise part in the Melbourne CBD, they dropped a lot. However, the median price in Sydney CBD is very stabilized. All this because the shortage of land supply in the Sydney and in the New South Wales areas. And I think the same thing will happen in the Queensland. That's why I came to the Queensland, try to secure every piece of land near the water, as many as possible, because we have the imagination in the next 18 months period of time, all the land near the water will be dried up. The fourth thing I do like to develop here, I think, is the affordability. The affordability is for all the parties. So we can have for the home occupiers in the southern part of Brisbane, the median price over there is just around 450K, right? With a low interest rate, and for the average income families, the mortgage payment is just below 1/3 of their income. compared with Sydney and Melbourne, 50% income have to pay for the mortgage to service the loan. And I can imagine the people living in Queensland, in Gold Coast area, they are more happier because they have much more, they have extra money spending for their character usage. They can invest for their child education. They can traveling, whatever, make people like to stay here. And for the investors, from my point of view, it's really a investment heaven, no doubt. You can imagine, you can easily to find a 5% rental yield for the brand new houses, and you can maybe get as high as 6% for the pre-owned properties. And you can count your fingers, you pay around 4% on what you have borrowed, and you can get around 5 to 6% on the purchase price. And you can easily to get negative. You can easily get a positive geared property even without applying for any tax benefit. No need for the negative gearing scheme or the fancy things, And for the developers, it's also the affordability. You can spend around 1 million to secure land to do a multiple duplex project, and you may secure land spending around $2 million to do a townhouse project. However, if we go back to Sydney and Melbourne, you spend a multi-million dollar to secure land. Only we can build up high-rise buildings, of course with high risk. So in the current situation, I don't want to involve in any development like that. And another thing I think is the trend. It's a trend for the median price in Queensland will continue go up, because for the last 8 to 9 years we have seen Sydney and Melbourne the median price continue increase. I think the next turn would be the Queensland, right? And especially that's the reason why I came here, try to secure every piece of land near the water. And the trend will be continue and start already. So I hope everyone here, no matter you are from the investment part, you are from the first home buyers, or you are from the developer side like myself, we can all share the mutual benefit from this boom. And the boom, it begins.
Okay, very good answer. There was a lot of information in there. So you mentioned a couple of times about buying land and securing land near the water.
Yep.
Do you think that there's a lot of investors from Sydney and Melbourne and other states in Australia that see potential in a lifestyle change, a lifestyle choice?
Yeah. You can see, the median price in Sydney and Melbourne is quite high already. Normally 50% higher than the Brisbane Gold Coast area. So for example, some people from Sydney, Melbourne, they can easily sell their multi-million properties. They can buy the multiple investment products here to get a positive geared investment portfolio straight away. They can get retired, right? So some people looking for the lifestyle change, someone looking for the cash flow. I think people, the majority of the clients I met, they are looking for the cash flow in the first.
Thank you. Moving on to Jingjing now. So Jingjing, you're in project management, and we've just heard from a developer. There was a lot of numbers and figures and facts being thrown around, and what makes Victor decide to buy a block on the water compared to a block not on the water, and locations, things like that. How do you assist someone like Victor, or how do you assist developers, and what do you do and go through with them to get them to purchase something and go right through to, I guess, settlement?
I'm a project manager from City Sky. What project management do is actually we assist the developer looking at the block of land, and we take on the project from the very beginning at the conception stage and helping them go through the whole process until to the end, hand over with a finished product. During the past few years, we do see a lot of investors, developers are actually interstate developers or overseas investors. They first time start looking at the Queensland market, and it's the first time that they want to invest in the Queensland residential housing industry. So facing all these type of developers and investors, they all come actually from different knowledge level, different experience, and they are looking for different informations from us. So our assistance is actually from different level. For those people from Melbourne City, we sit down, try to let them understand the legislations, the rules of Queensland, the difference of doing the development over here. And for some investors, they are brand new into the industry. They have no experience of development before. So we gave our knowledge and experience to them, actually guiding them through of their first construction project from the beginning to the end. So one question, I think in assisting developers in investing in a project, one most important performance indicator they're looking at is the project return. How much money they can make from the project. Is the project safe? So when we sit down with developers and looking at the feasibility, we're always looking at two big components. We try to let them to understand they have to have a holistic understanding of their development cost. What's the total amount of investment money they should looking at when they take on a project. And also we're helping them to understand how much the end value of the product going to be and how much money you can sell for, what's the project realization. So in our project management team, we have people from multiple different backgrounds. We have quantity surveyors, construction experts, we have designers, civil engineers. So with all this combined knowledge, we're helping our clients to understanding all aspects of a project before they making their decision on investing that project. So myself from a quantity surveying background, we're helping our clients looking at how much you should pay for the land, how much you should expecting to pay for your consultants, what's your construction budget should be, what's the realistic construction budget should be, and all other surrounding costs like financing cost, the marketing cost. So we're helping our clients to putting down a realistic, feasible project from the very beginning. And we helping them to control the cost, control the construction process, control the construction scheduling, and helping them to go through all the difficulties. We are willing to jump into even on-site to helping to solve the problems. And with in-house designers, we're helping the developer to control the designing process. We try to identify the issues before it develops into a problem. Also, I think what's setting us apart from traditional construction consulting is also we really have a good knowledge of the market. So with the help of our valuable partner Sotheby, we keeping us updating with the market information. We're giving our investors the suggestion on where's the market going and what's the best product to deliver. And we see understanding the construction, understanding the market as important as understanding the technical part of working on a project. Only because all what end product you want to deliver actually built in is going already decided at conception stage of a project, and that's going to impact on the construction cost as well. So I think what we do is we combine all the knowledge together to get our investor developer a holistic view of a project, let them to understand all the elements in the project to helping them to make their decisions. I think that's the most important thing we have been giving to Victor as well in assisting him making his decision investing in Queensland.
Okay, so you said that you work closely with Sotheby's in terms of what's the right product to put out to the market in terms of what demand is out there. And you said you have a lot of people from all different industries who help you put all this together and give the information to developers like Victor. Do you think it's valuable to have someone like an agency like Sotheby's or another agency to come on board in the early stages of a development and actually do a feasibility of what they could potentially sell for in comparison to what's out there? Do you think that's a valuable thing for a developer or for an agency to be part of early on for the developer's sake?
Definitely. For all the projects we're working on, we have an agency involved at very early stage. As I said, we're working with them at the conception stage. I think agents are the best person telling what kind of product the end user are actually asking for. They are the one who working with the buyers every day, and actually during the construction stage, we normally experiencing a lot of buyer variations when we were doing the pre-sales. So agents they collecting those informations and the experience during the project they've been working on during the it's a collection of years of experience in there, and it's very valuable for them to pass that information to us, and thus we make our delivered product better and better and meets the market requirements.
Patrick, do you have anything to comment on that?
Yeah, I think expanding on that, and collectively you can see a similarity is getting your consultants involved early. Obviously with Victor, it's getting his town planners and getting his project management team on board at a very early stage to understand the product and the markets to be working with. And again, we say with City Sky with Jingjing is getting the agencies, but also her external consultants in at a very early stage. And I guess from a sales perspective, it's us working with these like-minded people at a very early stage too, because at the end of the day, I think in our own rights, we all become our own developer in our own way. Whether you're doing a duplex or a simple renovation, you're renovating either for yourself, but also to a market. If you can actually invest into a property and then resell that within a 6-month to 12-month period, you're understanding your product and your market. So again, even from a renovator's point of view, getting your town planners, making sure you're getting the rules and regulations done, but also getting your finance into mark, in relation to where you're financed and you're positioned at. But also your other external consultants, accountants and lawyers. I can't stress enough in how important to get your accountants involved in relation to your taxations and your benefits to your own, circumstances versus to investment into the market. Whether that's now becoming more in an early stages. If you're an investor, and especially investing in the Queensland side, we have wonderful yield and returns compared to any other state. We have one of the lowest stamp duties, we do. And with very high yields. So when we start looking at our price points, and again from the panelists before, where can you buy an apartment for $300,000 within the Brisbane CBD? It's just unheard of. Even when you go to the southern end of the coast, you can start buying some townhouses starting from $400,000. Again, wonderful time to get into the market and really come into that Queensland market. So I'm just expressing again with the panelists is just getting your consultants in early is